the fact that Jalen Carter went back to the accident and then pleaded with the cops and told the cops that he was involved with it, I give him a lot of credit for doing that. Because obviously he didn't want to be caught. He's going into the NFL. This guy is a top prospect, one of the best defensive linemen going into the draft. So I understand why he did that. And you don't know if there's cameras on the road. So he didn't want to put himself in that position for being in a hit and run or something like that. But the fact that this has gone on more than once with this guy scares me. It scares me. Now, Jalen Carter is a fantastic talent. And we've seen a lot of fantastic talents come out of the NFL draft and did things off the field in college, in high school, and you think they would get away from it. They hire an agent. They have their brothers go move with them wherever they move to whatever state, whatever team they play for, or family members. We've seen that with John Morant. His family moved where he moved in Memphis. Did that work? It didn't work. As you see what's going on with John Morant off the court. Now you see Jalen Carter. Now, I don't know if it's a family situation. I don't know if it's just a situation where he just drinks and he gets himself into trouble and he's mischievous. I don't know. I have no idea who Jalen Carter is as a person. I know he's a talented football player. I know a lot of people compare his skills to a lot of ex-NFL players and even NFL players that are in the game today. To me, is he worth the trouble? Is he worth drafting him in the top 10, paying him a significant amount of money, millions and millions of dollars, if this guy can't be on the field? He can't stay on the field in the NFL.
Carl says a big issue here is that Carter left the accident scene initially. He knew the severity and didn't go to help. Yeah. And he also says some would see that
he did go back, though.
Yes. Some would see that as a selfish and not a team player-oriented view, which was it also an issue for him at certain points with discipline on the field in practice, on the field in certain games, too, at certain points in his career. And a lot of people were worried about that, having a character issue that way. He was able to be much more disciplined this season when he played fantastic. But again, you definitely not ideal circumstances. But from what the reports came out recently said, it was actually Lee Croy that was the one that was instigating the racing. She was driving at a triple the level, alcohol level, 104 miles an hour, and I guess that triggered it more, and then obviously she was one of the victims in that situation, along with Devin Willock, and that was what the police ended up being caught at, not Jalen Carter instigating the racing, even though he was charged with the reckless driving. So it'll be interesting to see how teams take that on, because you're right. It does hurt draft stock in some instances, too. Obviously, the Larry B. Tunsil incident wasn't his fault. It was a video that got bombed by somebody else that got posted. It wasn't all him. And Randy Gregory, the other big one, too, that had a lot of off-field issues, that was a top 10 talent and ended up falling to the second round, having to be drafted by the Cowboys, I think late in the second round because of that, who was probably going to go in the top 10 otherwise.
How about Ruggs?
Yeah.
How about Ruggs that's in jail right now? And he hasn't even gone through the process of going to court and seeing how long he's going to go to jail for. This happened, 2 years ago? He's still waiting for his court case because of COVID-19. Mm-hmm. So Henry Ruggs, who was supposed to be one of the best top wide receiving prospects that come out of, what do you play for, Alabama?
Yep.
And he was the number one wide receiver drafted in that class with CeeDee Lamb and all those other guys. And he's definitely never going to play football again because he had a drinking problem.
Mm-hmm. When you're cut from the Raiders, you know something is
stop
wrong with
that. That has nothing to do with it.
No, I know that, but still, that's when you know it. It's going to be very hard for you to get back in the league as it is.
If you know the story about Henry Ruggs, he lost his best friend to a car accident.
No, I know. I'm not.
He blames himself for not being in that car when his friend died in that car accident.
Right, and
when he was in high school.
You definitely have to feel bad for a situation like
Absolutely.
that. Absolutely, and that's.
But I feel bad for the people that died in the other car that he hit.
Yeah, there were
the person and the dog.
A person and a dog, and there was another one that was critically injured too.
Yeah.
And I think was still in the hospital for another 6 months after that. So it was definitely a sad note on that. And again, Henry Ruggs, because that incident I guess didn't transpire like what you were saying before the draft, his stock didn't fall. But that could happen with somebody like Jalen Carter in this case too. Now he's
definitely going to fall.
Yeah. Now
I don't know how far.
Yeah.
Chicago.